this is Anne-Marie from Alma Surfside. As you know, I have an Etsy shop where I sell handmade beach and surf-inspired jewelry. So I'll include a link to my shop down below, and I also have an Instagram account, which is Alma Surfside 7. So if you want to keep up with my latest work, you can check out the links that I include in the description box. And I just want to welcome everyone back to another beading tutorial. I'm getting very close to getting 500 subscribers, so I'm hoping that this video will help boost my number of subscribers. And so if you could do that either at the beginning or the end of the video, I would really appreciate that. And don't forget to like this video as well. That always helps my channel. So for today's beading project, what we're going to be working on is a pendant, which could also be made into earrings. So it's up to you whether or not you want to do one or the other. To make a pair of earrings, of course, you're just going to do another one of these and attach an earring hook instead of a jump ring. So the design here includes 4 different types of beads. What I have here at the top and bottom are kite beads, and on the sides I've included SuperDuo beads, and also size 11 seed beads as well as size 15 seed beads. Okay, so that's the design there. But for today's version, I'm going to mix it up just a little bit because I wanted to do a slightly different version. So instead of including gold beads, today we're going to use silver beads. And instead of white SuperDuos on the side, we're going to use pink and green instead. Okay, just to mix it up a little bit. I didn't want to have, another identical matching pendant, so I thought we could do a slightly different version today. So in terms of materials, what you're going to need today is Fireline, and this is 6 pound or 0.006, and the color is crystal. And you're also going to need kite beads, and these are glass beads in chalk white luster, and they happen to be 9 by 5 millimeters. Okay. The next type of bead that I have on my mat here are SuperDuo beads, and these ones are lilac luster. So you're only going to need 2 in that color if you decide to follow the pattern that I'm doing today. The other SuperDuos are called light green luster, and you'll need a total of 4. And I also have size 11 seed beads in galvanized silver, and these are by Toho. And I'll also be using size 15 seed beads, and again the same color, also by Toho. Okay, and in terms of supplies, it's helpful to have flat nose pliers in order to work with the jump ring or the earring hook, depending on what you're doing. And it's also good to have a pair of scissors on hand so that you can cut your thread as you go. Okay. Of course, you're going to need a beading needle, and you're going to want to thread that beading needle. Okay, so gather all your materials and then we'll get started. Okay, so to get started, what you need to do is to put your thread on your needle, and then you're going to start by picking up one of your kite beads. Okay, and you're going to make sure that you insert your needle into the bottom part of that bead. So you want to have the point facing the other side, okay? So your needle's going through the base. And then we're going to pick up one of our green SuperDuos, one of our pink SuperDuos, and another green, followed by another kite bead. Okay, and the kite bead, again, we're going to make sure that we're putting our needle through the base, which means that we're not going through the pointy side, right? Like the opposite. So push those down on your needle, and then again, you're going to pick up one green, one pink, and another green. So you have a total of 3 SuperDuos on your needle. And then we're going to make sure that all of these are down on our thread towards the very last part. And we're going to do a knot at this point, okay? So make sure that you do a very secure knot. You're going to want to knot it maybe twice. and make sure that you're pulling as tight as you can so that the beads aren't loose in any way. Okay, so what we can do at this point is get our scissors and we can just cut off the excess thread. Okay, so that's the excess thread. I'm just going to put it to the side. And what you're going to want to do is go through the inside of your pendant, in other words, the holes that are sitting there at the base of each bead, and just to reinforce the design, okay, so that they're not, getting floppy or anything. So I'm going to insert my needle through the base of all of these SuperDuos. And that's just going to help to reinforce it. Now I'm going through the kite bead, and now I'm working through the other side. And through the base of the kite bead. Okay, and now we're done. Okay, so I've gone through all of those beads once, okay, with my needle. And now I'm going to go through the very first bead, the SuperDuo bead that's sitting there on the right hand side. I'm going through the bottom part, and now I have to get my needle up to the top layer of my pendant. Okay, so I'm going to go through the top hole of that green SuperDuo that's there at the bottom of the pendant. Okay, so you'll notice that the thread is going from the bottom hole into the top hole of that SuperDuo. And now I'm going to pick up a total of 4 of my size 15 beads. Okay, so those are the little ones on your mat on the far right hand side. And I'm going to insert my needle into the kite bead, but instead of going through the bottom hole, I'm going to go through the top hole where the point is. Okay, and pull on my thread. Okay, pick up another 4 of your size 15 seed beads. Okay, and then I'm going to go through the top hole of the other SuperDuo that's sitting there on the other side. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to pick up a silver bead in size 11 and go through the top hole of the next SuperDuo. So in this case it's the pink one. Okay, and now I'm going to pick up another size 11 and again go through the top hole of the green one. Okay, so that's what you should have so far. And now I'm going to pick up 4 of my size 15 beads in silver. And I'm going to go through the top hole of this kite bead. Okay, so now that I've inserted the 4 beads into this hole, I'm going to pick up another 4 of my size 15s. On my needle. I'm going to go down the top hole of the first green SuperDuo. Okay. Now I'm going to pick up a size 11 go through the pink SuperDuo, pick up another size 11, and go through the green SuperDuo. Okay, again, the top holes. Okay, so you can see how that's coming together. And now I have to get my needle all the way around the outside and up to the top of the pendant in order to finish off the loop. Okay, so take the time to go through all of these beads. You're working your way down counterclockwise through the outside of your pendant until you get back to the top here. Okay, so let's get started here by going through these 15s. Okay, so I've made it back up to the top of my pendant right here. I'm coming out of the left-hand side, okay, and to finish off my piece, I'm going to pick up 2 of my size 15s, 1 of the size 11, and then 2 more of my 15s. Okay, so coming out of the left, I'm going to insert my needle into the right, the very top bead there, sitting up at the right. And that's what creates the point, okay, for the top of the shape. And then what I have to do is get my needle back up to the top, but first I'm going to go through the rest of the size 15s. Okay, so I've gone through all of the 15s there on the right hand side, and instead of going around the entire outside of the pendant once more, I'm going to take a shortcut. So I'm just going to go through the green SuperDuo, the top hole there, and then I'm going to go through the bottom hole of that same SuperDuo. There we go. And then I'm going to go through the bottom hole of that kite bead sitting there at the very top. Go through the bottom hole of the green bead on the other side. And through the top hole of the green bead as well. Okay, pull that tight. So looking at my pendant, I'm now coming out of the top hole on the left-hand side, and the top hole is of the green SuperDuo sitting there at the top. Okay, turn my pendant, and I'm going to insert my needle through all of the size 15s until I get up to the size 11 bead there at the top. Okay, there we go. So now you can see that my thread is coming out of the right hand side of that top seed bead, which is a size 11. And to do the loop, what I've done on the other pendant is I've included 5 of the little size 15 beads in just a simple loop. So I'll pick up 5 of my silver, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, and then I'm going to go through the opposite side of that size 11 bead, which is sitting there at the top. Okay, there we go. And to reinforce it, I'm going to go through all of the beads that I just added on. Reinforce just means that you're making it a little bit stiffer by adding more thread into all of those beads. And I'm also going to go through the bottom bead there, the size 11. Okay, so if you want to do that another time, go ahead and do that. Go through all of the beads that you just added on if you feel that it's not sitting nice and taut. Okay, it's up to you. So that's the pendant or the earring that I came up with. And of course you're going to need to tie off your thread. So I think the best place to do that is sort of near the SuperDuos, so then I can pull my knot through. Okay, so I'm going to get my needle down, all of the size 15 beads there sitting on the right. Okay, there we go. And then I can insert a needle on the inside of my pendant right above the green SuperDuo. Okay, so I just put a knot right there, and you can see that it's kind of hidden by the SuperDuo and the 15s, okay, where they meet. And I can even go through the top hole of that green SuperDuo to pull the knot through and hide it even more. And I can insert another knot here at this point. And then to hide it, again, I can go through, you know, all of those beads. Okay, there we go. So I went through all of the beads there on the right hand side, and I'm coming out of the green SuperDuo. And now that I've done 2 knots and I'm happy that it's secure, I can just cut off the excess thread. And there you go. So that's the final pendant. And what I can do is pick up my flat nose pliers and my silver jump ring. I can open it up, insert it through the hole sitting there at the top, and I'm going to get my chain and I'm going to attach the pendant to the chain, and there we go. Okay, so that's my necklace there. Okay, so there you have it. That's our final pendant, or if you made earrings, you know, you're gonna do that once more and then attach the earring hooks to the top. And I think it's a very elegant design. I love the kite beads. I think those are really the standout beads in this piece. And I love the combination of green and pink on the side of the pendant. I think that's really beautiful. And of course you can play with, you know, different colors of SuperDuos and kite beads and see what kind of other designs you can come up with. So I hope you enjoyed making this, this pendant with me today. And don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And let's make sure that I get up to 500 subscribers. And yeah, thanks so much for your support, and I'll see you in the next tutorial. Okay, bye for now.